The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
The Lethbridge Bullhorn is all things regarding the Lethbridge Bulls of the Western Canadian Baseball League. The Bullhorn has the latest news regarding the Bulls with interviews with current and past players, signings, game recaps, and updates on all the events happening at Spit Stadium. The Bullhorn is your place for all things regarding baseball in Lethbridge. Get your horns up with the Bullhorn, the Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report.
All right, the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls baseball report up and running. We're up on Rogers TV as well as Lethbridge Bulls YouTube channel and wherever it is you get your podcast. I'm your host, Brent Radlinsky, at Spit Stadium, home of the Lethbridge Bulls of the Western Canadian Baseball League. A lot going on here at Spit Stadium, as always, but this week's been the major focus, not more this week, but for about a month and a half, 2 months now, the induction of Lethbridge Bulls Hall of Famer and the Bulls' first head coach, Todd Hubka, is going into the Prairie Baseball Hall of Fame. So on the February 1st, there's a banquet, the Hall of Fame banquet and the Celebration of Baseball banquet. The Todd Hubka Love Fest, I guess. Not that we don't love Hub all the time, but a special night for Hubka and all he's done for the Prairie Baseball Academy and baseball in general throughout southern Alberta and the like. Known Hub a long time, so it should be a lot of fun seeing him maybe tear up a little bit. I'm so almost the bets are pretty high that Hub's gonna the waterworks are gonna turn on pretty early. But anyways, great show today here on the Bullhorn. A couple of first-time Lethbridge Bulls, first-time playing. One guy is a no stranger to Lethbridge. He's pitched with the Prairie Baseball Academy. We'll get to him in half a second. But first up, we got Gavin Allen from Martinsburg, Missouri, teammate of David Maxwell Benton the third. I'm just going to get used to saying that one. Gavin had his Tommy John surgery last year, so we've had a great conversation with his journey, when it all happened, how it all got going. I didn't want to scare him away from the Lethbridge and being negative, but it was a very interesting interview, how it all goes down and the things that goes on behind the scenes in the pitcher's life once they get the Tommy John surgery. It seems everybody goes through at one point or another. So it's a great conversation. William Woods Owl going to get a chance to pitch this weekend in limited duty, I guess you could say. But in the first impressions of everything, Gavin definitely ticked all the boxes. I quite enjoyed my conversation with him. Very polite kid, and down to 300 people he comes from. So it was very nice to talk to a kid. He was very he was seen very engaging and everything else. So it was very good to talk to Gavin. And so here is our interview with Gavin Allen. All right, the Bullhorn, the Lethbridge Bulls baseball report up and running. Next up is a new face that will be coming to Lethbridge this spring. Right-handed pitcher from Martinsburg, Missouri, Williamswood University, Mr. Gavin Allen. Gavin, how are you doing today, sir?
Not too bad.
We'll get into the Missouri Kansas City Chiefs a little bit later on in the show. You told me off the air that you're a Steelers fan, but I want to get your take on the Kansas City Chiefs a little bit later on. We'll talk about your baseball, what's going on down there at William Woods. I learned today that you had a little unfortunate year last year, Tommy John surgery, the whole bit. Is it just a matter of it seems to be like everybody kind of gets it. Were you prepared between the years to get Tommy John surgery, the arm going, or was it a complete surprise when it came across when the doc pulled you in and said, "Hey man, we got a little bit of a problem here"?
It was a complete surprise. So I've never really dealt with an injury before in terms of baseball. I've always been, I've had pretty good health, pretty good luck in terms of staying healthy, staying good. And then I was throwing a bullpen. I think it was our first practice back from Christmas break here at Woods. And, I threw a curveball and I just felt the pop. And obviously I was more scared than anything, kind of confused. And then for a solid 2 weeks, they thought it was just a partial tear. So I'd only be out 5 to 6 weeks or so. And it happened to be a full tear. So there went my freshman season.
That must have been something you got you're young and all of a sudden and something that's kind of been your go-to forever, and all of a sudden it's that must have been the did you ever think, because I've talked to other guys who've had Tommy John in the past, and it was more so of the between the ears stuff that was starting to get to him, that to trying to get through it and having to lean on other people and not knowing when, if, who did you lean on a little bit to get through it? Because it could be the arm, the surgery, it works for everybody basically, but who did you lean on a little bit to say, hey man, I don't know if this is going to work? Did you have a lot of encouragement?
So, like, early on, I was pretty just to myself, and that was probably the worst possible thing I could have done because that's when, like, all the thoughts start getting to your head.
Yep.
But my high school baseball coach is someone that I relied on quite a bit, and he kind of built that confidence back. And then as well as my physical therapist here, he did a great job in trying to get me not only to overcome the physical side, but the mental side of it as well.
Then you get thrown again in like the rehab of it, and like you got to try to pull you because you're young and you're full of energy and everything else. And
Yeah.
did you have to listen to people a lot more and say, okay, you can only do this. You can only do this. You can't go from 0 to 100 right away. What was the hardest part of getting to that point where it was like, okay, slow down, slow and steady wins the race in this long haul?
I mean, with surgery, there's obviously a lot of ups and downs. And when you're feeling good, the biggest thing I learned is that don't overdo it. Because whenever you're feeling good, come back from a surgery, you just want to get right back at it, go as much as you can. But if anything, that just created more setbacks for me in the process. So it was more of just whenever I'm feeling bad, I don't have to keep going. But if I'm feeling good, do not overdo it. You have to like keep the steady pace and stay on the flat path there.
Was that the hardest part of it all? Like the first year, like when it pops and you go, oh, this is bad. Like what was the like on the scale of one? Like where was the worst part of the whole thing when you got through? I don't want to hash up all these bad memories, but
No, it's all good.
I'm just intrigued by this whole thing. How because everybody's different and everybody handles this thing different. Different people I've talked to that have gone through it. What was the worst part of the whole thing? Was it the beginning, the middle, the end, and the battle of it between the ears? Like what was the worst part of the whole thing?
Um, that's a good question. Never really thought about that. I would say probably the hardest part had to have been the beginning, just because, like I said, that's kind of when I kept to myself. And then I love seeing the boys going out there to compete and try and win, but not being a part of that always sucked. So I don't know. I'd say probably the beginning was probably the worst part when it came to like having to. I love watching my boys play, but not being able to to help them. That kind of sucked.
When it first went, did you try to hide it, or okay, I can throw, I'm okay, and did you go, oh, it's just a little nothing? Like how did you hide it from your coaches a little bit, or you
Well,
probably couldn't?
no. So like I threw that curveball, and obviously like I felt the pop. It felt weird, and then I started feeling like a burning sensation in my arm. But every pitcher has at least a couple throws in their life where it's like, that didn't feel too good, but then
Yeah.
they go out and throw one more pitch and they're just fine. So I tried doing that, and my fastball was down like 20 miles per hour, and my pitching coach looked at me and was like, "What was that?" And I pointed to my arm, and that's whenever everyone started like talking to me about it.
What'd your pitching coach say? Like, get out of here! Like, oh, we got to look at this. What was that?
Well, it was more of just like they asked me what happened. I told them, and then it's kind of weird. I think it was because I was like so panicked, nervous, and scared. Like I started losing like the hearing in both of my ears, and like I don't know. I've never been close to passing out, but that was definitely the closest I've been to passing out before. And so I don't really remember what the coaches said to me directly right after, but they just showed some concern.
It basically went into shock.
Pretty much, yeah, 100%.
That's crazy. Like you get into the rehab and all that, it's starting to feel good. And you like, was that another step in the whole process? Like, okay, yeah, I'm doing this now, and you must have been feel a little bit better about yourself. Okay, we're back, and Gavin Allen can pitch again.
Yeah, no, for sure. Rehab was like a long process, and it wasn't until about October. So I started rehab in, I want to say late March, early April. I didn't start really seeing a whole lot of progress or strides forward until about October or so. And once that kind of hit, everything just took off. It's been great since then.
Like now that you're ready to go, and you're like, okay, everything's perfect, and knock on the old proverbial wood that it's going to be good. Like, do they have do they sit you down and say, okay, your coaches know better than, and the therapist and everybody else, they know more than anybody else, right? Like how it works, and how do they decide that this how many innings you're going to pitch, this is what your pitch count's going to be, because everybody's different and everybody's body. Like, how do they come up with your program for the for not just like for the training in the off season, but now going in the season, which you guys start this week? Like, how do they decide Gavin Allen's going to pitch this man? Because everybody's different.
Yeah, so it's kind of new for everyone because I came in here as a starting pitcher, and obviously my arm's not quite good enough to be a starter, go all those innings yet. So Coach Cav was talking to me about starting in the pen, and I just got word today that I'm able to travel for the series this weekend.
Yeah.
So we talked, and at most 2 innings or like 35 pitches, I believe, is what I can do to start out, but just kind of keep working our way up from there.
Well, every journey begins with a single step. There's some motivation for you. Like it's just,
Right.
yeah, it's got to be like it's got to be a relief though that they see
Mhm.
that you can go and
Yeah.
that like the confidence that you can go and everything else. Like you get that like last year when you couldn't compete, was that the hardest part? See, like you said, you seen your boys go out there. Was that the hardest part of your first year in college baseball? Thinking I finally got to where I want to be, and then Jesus, man, I'm live. Like now what? Like was that the hardest part of it last year?
Yeah, right on the dot, 100%. That was tough. That was very tough.
Yeah, you get into now. You're going to get into going. What would be a successful year for Gavin? Like it's like for at Williams Woods with the Owls there. What would be a successful year just for you? Like getting through this first weekend, that'll be a step, and then getting through the next one, that'll be a step. And is it just increasing your innings and how much work you can do?
Yeah, just staying healthy and trying to help the team win as much as possible. I also have like a little personal goal, and that's to touch a 9 again by March. So hopefully we can touch a 9 again.
Well, that's what we're kind of hoping around these parts too. When you can get to when you come
Yeah,
up here
for
in
sure.
the when you come up here in the spring and into the summer. How did you? I'm assuming that it was you've spoken with uh, David the Third, otherwise known as Max around here. Max Benton, David the Third. I don't think I'm ever going to get used to that. But I'm sure you spoke to him about coming to Lethbridge. And is that how this whole process started, or how did you end up first hearing about the Lethbridge Bulls WCBL, or how did it all come about?
So before I tore my UCL, this was in December of 2023. Coach Cav actually brought it up to me and said he think it would be a good idea for me for the summer. And I'm someone that loves to travel, so like, I was pretty much bought in. And then early January came around, obviously tore my UCL, so that plan was just kind of out the window. But yeah, Max and Carter, or not Carter, Max and Coach Cav, they've kind of talked to me a lot about it and
Yeah.
really just made me super interested in it.
Have you ever been to Canada?
Back in 2014, so I was pretty young, but I went to Niagara Falls, and that was it.
That doesn't really count.
Yeah,
It's just out there, whatever,
fair
tourism.
enough.
No, it does. It counts. Summer baseball, it's a lot of fun. Like, I'm sure you talk with teammates of yours, how, like, it's a different level of compete. You're out there and you want to win. And then when it's over, okay, we won, we lost. Like, you want it, like, you always compete hard. What's your preconceived notions about summer baseball, and what do you know about it?
I mean, I played summer baseball here up in St. Louis since about my sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
So I started pretty late compared to some kids, but I don't know. I love it, being around all the boys all the time and then playing the game that we love. Like, there's not much better.
No, it's a lot of fun. We get some pretty good crowds around this league too, so it should be a lot of
What I
fun coming
heard.
up. So and probably something you're like every guy that I talk to who's coming up to the league for the first time, they usually play in front of family and friends, and sometimes the family and friends don't show up depending on the weather.
Yeah.
It could be, and you go to different schools, you're out of town. What's going to be the biggest challenge for you? You think coming here for the summer? Is it just being away from home, being away from new surroundings, different teammates? Like what's something you're a tad bit hesitant about?
Definitely the new surroundings. Just no being. I'm from a very small town, lived there my whole life, so just trying to get used to a new little environment there. But overall, I think it'll be just fine. I don't
How
really
how,
have too much worries.
how big's Martinsburg?
300 people. 300.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
pretty
because
small.
I come from a town just about half an hour away from Lethbridge here, and 2,800 people. It depends how many people are in town that day, but yeah, it's so I like that's small to me, but 300.
Yeah,
Holy,
no. So you
that's
know everyone. You hear all the drama.
everything. Everybody knows thing
Yeah,
about you too, so you got to keep your nose clean all the time too.
exactly.
Probably that's one of the
Yeah, for
things.
sure.
You're getting up here. Like? Let's go back to your the William Woods. We talked about what would be a success for you. What's going to be some strong points for the Owls this year? And do you guys got a chance to do some damage this year?
I believe so. I think we got a good group of guys this year. I mean, not to brag on us pitchers, but on the pitching side, I think we're pretty deep this year. I love the pitching staff we got this year. And then offensively and defensively, I think we'll do a great job as well.
Pitchers are always funny that way. Hey, they're all their own little group. And
Yeah,
you know what? We'll do our job, but they got to hit. Like it's like already. It's funny. Well, we did our job. Like that's the way it
yeah,
kind of works. But
exactly.
It's no, it's going to be interesting. What do you know about Western Canada, if anything?
Nothing. I've heard some stories from Max and some of the other Canadians here, but not too much. Not too much.
It's no, it's the same as the Midwest pretty much. There's not a whole bunch of difference. It doesn't get overly cold. Like you get, yeah, it's not that bad. What's your best pitch?
I actually I've thrown a splitter before, but I changed my grip to Max's grip, and my splitter is probably my best pitch now.
Max's splitter has nothing on mine. I taught him
Okay.
everything, but not everything I know. It's one of those things. We'll have to talk about that when you get up here in the off season. What number do you want to wear?
Preferably 27. That's kind of a common number, so wouldn't be surprised if that one's taken up.
I will find out very, very soon here if that can get, and I'll get back to you on that because I got a little bit of pull around here. I can make that work. What's like everybody has hopes and dreams when they're young, and then you realize, okay, when did you realize at what age did you say, you know what, I'm pretty good at this baseball stuff?
Honestly, I still haven't thought that. Like, I have confidence in myself, but like I feel like I could always still be getting better. I don't feel like I'm where I should be yet. But I would say when it came to like thinking I can play college baseball was probably my junior year of high school.
Yeah. What's the hopes and dreams for Gavin Allen after this year, and then what's your hopes after, like, obviously come to the Lethbridge and win a championship with the Bulls, but like after that, what's your hopes and dreams with the game of baseball, and see where it can take you?
I mean, I would love to still play baseball after college, wherever that is, whatever that is. It doesn't matter to me. I love baseball. I love to keep playing it.
It's do you ever like it's I had another guy on earlier on this morning. We were talking about this how baseball is just different on they make pitchers only. They don't get to hit anymore, and it's really weird to me because I mean I got a few years on everybody around here, but like it was usually like the best athlete like was the pitcher. He could usually hit bombs and everything else too. When did you get told you weren't going to be swinging the bat anymore?
So coming from a small town, you go to a really small school. So if you're an athletic kid, you're one of the better players there. Yeah. And so I didn't stop hitting until I got to college. But
do you ever say to the coach, like, not yet because you haven't been on the uniform yet, but because you're not too far away from hitting. When's the last time you swung a bat?
Summer, like seriously, summer of 2023.
Do you think you still got it?
I want to say yes, but probably not.
The ball spins a little bit more the older you get. There's a lot more going on there. That's one of those things. No, it's gonna be really fun to have you up here. You seem like a really like a go-getter and everything else. We have this thing at Spitz Stadium here. It's on the patio. It's called 3 Easy Questions. You can't get them wrong. It's just a really simple little thing. Yeah, whatever you say, it's the court of public opinion. Like, it's just a simple thing. Yeah, I ask Gavin questions. Gavin gives me answers, and then we go from there. Ready to go?
Let's get it.
Favorite player growing up?
Yadier Molina.
That's actually a good player. Something that you are really good at that nobody really knows about?
I used to be pretty good at Fortnite my freshman year of high school. That's honestly about it. There's not too much. Guy? Yeah.
And last one, food that your mother cooks that you really wish that she wouldn't. She won't listen or see this. Don't worry about it. Just tell me.
One time she made a steak and that wasn't too great, but yeah.
That's it?
I mean, she's honestly a pretty good cook. I'm not going to lie, but grilling's definitely not her.
Grilling's not her forte?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, on the other side, what's one thing that she makes that you really, really you're like, oh man, I can't wait to get home to eat this? What's that?
Spaghetti. Love spaghetti.
Mom's home cooked spaghetti.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Mom's spaghetti. That's one of those things. Well, Gavin, thanks for taking time out of your day. Good luck to you in your season at Williams Woods. We're going to really look forward to having you up here this summer with Lethbridge Bulls. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yep, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Gavin. We'll talk to you later and see you in the spring.
Sounds good.
Cheers, man.
Yep.
Thanks once again to Gavin Allen. Good luck this weekend at Williams Woods, getting back on the mound again for the first time in a long time and competing out there for the Owls, along with the friend of the show, David Maxwell Benton III of the Williams Woods. Owls. With the good luck to them. I look forward to seeing Gavin in Lethbridge Bulls pinstripes this season here at Spit Stadium and across the WCBL. Is going to look forward. Yeah, looking forward to, like the kid. Like I said, he's very well spoken, very and like I said, if first impressions are everything, this kid ticked all the boxes. I'm looking forward to having him around and having a good laugh with him. He's very outgoing and very ready to take on the baseball world here in Western Canada, the Western Canadian Baseball League for the Lethbridge Bulls. Next up, no stranger to Lethbridge, but a newcomer to the Lethbridge Bulls this summer, Prairie Baseball Academy pitcher, Jack Hudson. I don't know why I stumbled on that. Jack is a very business-like guy on and off the field. I didn't really know why. I thought it was maybe just how, but I found out why he's so business-like with his career path that he's going towards after his baseball career is done here with the Prairie Baseball Academy and then with the PBA or with the Lethbridge Bulls here in the summer. PBA gets going this on the 13th. They head down to Las Vegas, Nevada for their annual trip. They play Colorado Northwestern, then the College of Southern Nevada, a couple of preseason non-conference series to get the shake off the cobwebs from practicing indoors and getting going. It's an annual trip that they do. The coaches know what they got. The players that get the first real taste of college baseball, the freshmen, I guess, and see how things are really going and just get ready for the Canadian College Baseball Conference season that starts the end of March when they head out to Nanaimo to play Vancouver Island University. A couple of other series in between there, but things are really happening here. Very thankful to Jack for joining us on his day off from the rigors of training over at Lloyd Nolan Yard. So here is our interview with Lethbridge Bulls pitcher and Prairie Baseball Academy pitcher, the very business-like Jack Hudson. All right, the Lethbridge Bull or the Bullhorn, the Lethbridge Bulls baseball report. Today we got the pride of St. Albert, Alberta. Forget Jerome again. This is the guy right here. We got Mr. Jack Hudson. How you doing, Jack?
Good, you?
I'm doing pretty good for a Monday morning. Second year at PBA. I'm always interested to hear how guys end up playing for Ryan McDonald and Todd Hubkin, how you end up in Lethbridge, Alberta from St. Albert. Tell us the journey, how you ended up playing here in Lethbridge.
Yeah, well, basically I started out playing at a JUCO and just wasn't enjoying it very much there. And a friend of mine that was playing here at the time told me to come and check it out. So I did, and I really enjoyed it, and now I'm here.
Pretty easy thing. What's it been like for your 2 years at PBA? Like you said, you didn't enjoy the JUCO. What's been the biggest difference between the JUCO down the States and here at PBA in Lethbridge?
I feel more connected with like the teammates and the program. I feel like we're a family, and I really enjoy the way we coach here and the way we run everything. I think the programming it more fits me. Yeah.
Little more regimented, maybe. I heard a little rumor. We'll get into that a little bit later on. But when you like, I always get a kick, and I've never understood it because when I was growing up, which is a long time ago, usually like this pitcher only thing. It's when you don't get a chance to hit. When I was young, it's 40 years ago when I was young, but it's mostly the more athletic guys were also the pitchers, and they could hit and everything else. When did you get told that maybe swinging the bat wasn't for you anymore, and it was time to just start throwing baseballs?
I was young. I must have been like 13 years old. I was early. I didn't really hit much in high school or even in like band and baseball. I was pretty young when I stopped hitting.
Did you go like, hey, I can't be that bad at this? Like, how come, or just like, I'm going to focus on pitching? Because I just always found it odd that like a guy just said, like at a young age, especially like you said in band, I'm like, you said, no, you're not hitting anymore. That's it.
I was never a great hitter. I think I can do that. I didn't enjoy it very much either. I like just focusing on pitching, but I don't know. I guess there's a little self-awareness that comes with it that I wasn't good, but
nobody is. Like even the best guys fail 7 out of 10 times when it comes down to it. So it's one of those things. But it's funny. Yeah. Like you're at PBA now, and you're in school, and you got a day off today. Thank you very much for coming on the show here. But what's the toughest part about being a student athlete? Because it's you guys practice a lot, and you still got classes, and then now you're going down to the States. We're going to get into that too. But what's the toughest part for you, just to try to just be a normal kid and have some fun and everything else? What's the toughest part for you about being a student athlete?
Toughest part is probably the homework. I find that takes up a lot of time that you don't really think of all the time. Like yeah, you have school and practice, but the amount of homework I have it's quite daunting, especially on my free time.
Do you? What's the on the flip side? Everybody always say like it's easy to focus on negative, better stories. But what's the best part of it? Like you say, yeah, you got homework, and yeah, you got like practice, and you got to get out of bed, and you got to talk to old guys like me on this kind of stuff. But what's the best part of about being a student athlete?
Definitely just the group of guys that you get to be with every day. You don't have to try hard to make friends. You're given 30 friends every year, and those are your best buddies, and I enjoy that.
You can tell the truth here. Do you like everybody?
Most people.
There's a few going through the old Rolodex between your ears. No, I don't like that guy. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to sue you at all. You guys get going, yeah, right away here. You're pitching. You're throwing indoors now, live hitting, and the whole thing. How it gets going there at PBA. I've been a part of that in the past, just watching and being an umpire and everything. Then you get going for real. You guys go to Vegas. Your first game's on February 14th. Go back to last year on that trip. What did you use that initial few games to get Jack Hudson rolling? Because pitching inside's one thing, but once you get going outside, it's a completely different beast.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely like a different atmosphere from going inside to going outside and playing great teams out in Las Vegas. But it just stays to sticking to your routine and just doing everything you do inside, outside, be successful.
You're like I noticed you last year. I was out in the field with you. You're pretty. This is it. No bit like no fooling around. Just give me the ball. I'm gonna get out here. Not a lot of smiling. Not that you're not happy to be out there, but you're very businesslike out there. How did that become a thing with Jack Hudson at a young age? And this is who you are, and this is how I go about doing things.
It just probably more like focus orientated. I really found when I'm focused like that, and I'm in more of like not a bad attitude, but like a business attitude. I feel like I'm more successful. I'm more focused up. I can succeed better.
Yeah, give me the ball. I'm not here to talk to you. I'm not here to converse. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to pitch, and that's it.
Yeah.
Do you use those games in Vegas? Like when you guys get going, you probably get a couple of appearances. The way it all works out, and your innings limits and everything, how it all works. What would be a successful non-conference schedule for you?
Definitely the biggest part would be feeling good. Yeah, you can get hit around sometimes playing good teams down there, but feeling good, your stuff's working, something like that would be a pretty successful start to the season.
Then you just go down to Twin Falls, I think, afterwards. And then it gets going for real, I think, in the third week in March, when there's still, who knows, there might be snow on the ground here and how it all turns out. And then, but you're heading out to Nanaimo, out in Vancouver Island. What's that bus trip like? 'Cause I think you went to Victoria last year. And then what's that? And then you got to get going. And it's a long haul. How do you just think, okay, we're just got to do this once and get it over with? Or it's like, oh, this bus trip, I don't know about this.
I personally, I don't like the long bus trips very much. I get bored, tired of sitting in there. But once you get there, it's just getting the legs going again, and yeah, getting energy to play.
It gets like once you get going for real. Like last year, it was a little bit of a tough year. Some injuries happened with the PBA with pitching staff, and it just it snowballed from there. You guys never really got going. What's been the attitude like around Lloyd Nolan Yard this year to maybe have a big bounce back year, maybe get a CCBC championship back in Lethbridge?
I think everyone's excited, but the biggest part, I think everyone's focused. Everyone has a want to win. I can tell.
What's like obviously winning is going to be that's a success, and you like Coach Hubcape, he manages to win every game. He's told me that a number of occasions, and I was like, okay, whatever. He's very, very antsy with me, but winning obviously is one thing. But what's another thing for just success for the program? What's got to happen this year?
I think we just got to stick to our guns and trust our pitching, trust our hitting, and go from there. I think we have a great group of guys, and we have a real chance of winning it. So, yeah.
Like PBA runs things a little bit differently than the other programs in the CCBC. I mean, there's guys in Calgary who feels like they're 35 years old. They've been around for such a long time playing for the Dinos. They're up there for Cam Williams. Is that one thing that kind of drew you to PBA, was saying, I'm going to get a chance to play. I'm not not going to be behind a bunch of older guys, seniors and super seniors and 5 and 6 year guys that some of these other teams have. Is that one thing about PBA that you really like?
Yeah, 100%. I enjoy coming here and knowing that you're one in few, and there's a great chance to capitalize on.
You got your coaches right here beside me. He's over my shoulder, kind of bothering me. I don't know what he's doing here. Yeah, he says hello. But, yeah, he's probably wondering why you aren't studying or lifting weights or throwing a baseball or something. But one of those. Let's get past the PBA thing for a little bit here. We'll get back to them in about 5 minutes. But how did you end up? Take us through the. I don't want to say it's a recruiting process to end up with the Lethbridge Bulls but how did you end up on the roster for the summer?
Just Coach Bergman and Coach McDonald talked to me about it and said it'd be a great chance to play a great summer with playing good games, busy schedule, and it interests me. And I thought about it for a while, and I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Was there any trepidation on your end to maybe not play because it's like college baseball and then they're just school and being a 20-some-year-old person? Like, was there any thought? Yeah, you know what? Maybe I just don't. I don't want to.
Yeah, 100%. I had feelings like it's a grind being here, being a student athlete, and then to go in the summer and play a lot of games. But at the end of the day, like I enjoy playing baseball, and I'm excited to come play.
That's what's the the level of baseball is different. It's just in a different atmosphere and everything. You're going to be playing in front of crowds with college baseball in Canada and the United States too. It's not just a Canadian thing. You don't play in front of a whole bunch of people. Is that going to be a bit of an adjustment to all of a sudden you're playing like here at Spitz, we're hoping to get 1,200-1,300 people, and you go to obviously Okotoks, big crowds, and then Sylvan Lake and Edmonton, they're hoping for big crowds. We'll actually talk about that in a second here, but is that something that's going to be a major adjustment for you not playing in front of family, friends, and the odd girlfriend now and then, because that's just what college baseball is in general. If you're playing in the SEC or something like that, is that something that it's going to be a big adjustment for Jack Hudson?
A little bit for sure. It'll be something new to me, but I'm not too worried about it.
Talking, you're from St. Albert. What's that the buzz around Edmonton, or if there even is one, about that new ballpark out there and out in Spruce Grove? Yeah, it's out in Spruce Grove. What's the talk about that amongst your the people, the baseball community around Edmonton?
I've heard that it's going to be a nice stadium and stuff like that, and they're putting together a team. I haven't heard too much about them. I heard they have a couple of team name propositions that were questionable, but
I saw those, and I don't know how much I should have had those in front of me. There were some that were a little bit odd to me. I think that a lot of those names they kind of just they throw a bunch of bad ones in there because they already know what the one that it's going to be to make sure people pick that one because they would have to have all their merchandise and stuff already on the way. And uniforms and everything. To wait to the last second, I don't know if that's possible. When you first how did you end up being? Because St. Albert, you start going a little bit further north, and it's funny how they say St. Albert, Edmonton's northern Alberta. It's not even central Alberta. How big this province is, but how did you leak into playing baseball more than playing hockey? And did you ever play hockey?
No, I honestly I can't even skate. My parents never put me in hockey growing up. They put me in baseball. I really enjoyed that, and that was the end of that. I've kind of tried starting to learn skating, but I'm not good.
No, it's funny how it was a lot of people. They were two sport athletes, not like athletes a pretty loose term when you're a kid. You're just playing, right? You're not really an athlete. You're just out there screwing around. But with the Lethbridge Bulls this summer, things are shaping up here. What are you looking forward to the most about playing for the Bulls, and maybe just to continue your baseball career a little bit?
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to being the new team and being a part of that and going out trying to win a championship.
It would be good. What's the future hold for Jack Hudson? I heard you're going to be in the law enforcement game. What's going on there? Is this something like how did you first think about doing that? And what's has that always been a thing since you were a kid to be in law enforcement? What's like police officer? Or what's your plan there?
Yeah, I'm thinking about being a police officer. Growing up, I really didn't have much interest in anything. I went to my JUCO. I took general studies, and a buddy recommended taking an intro to criminal justice course, and I took it and really enjoyed it. And now I'm finishing out my criminal justice diploma here at the college, and yeah.
You going to be a hard ass out in the streets, wherever you get?
We'll see.
I don't think you really have a choice. The kind of way that whole thing turns out. No, it's crazy how you get to that point. And you go, okay, I got to do something, and then it's something you just fall into, and you just start reading about it, and okay, this is all right. And then you just all of a sudden 40 years goes by, and it's just one. Yeah, it's funny how that all turns out. Because most guys, like when they're playing, is that something like when you? It's always interesting because guys think that they can play forever. Right, they can play baseball forever. Did you kind of know, okay, there's going to be a limit of how many years I can play? I better kind of get something going, because before you know it, it's over and you're doing who God knows what.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like by getting into like the criminal justice field, I think I'm setting myself up good for a future. Focused on playing baseball now, but there's also something that comes after it.
What's your best pitch?
Best pitch? Probably a fastball. And yeah.
Is there something you've been working on, like that maybe even Coach Hubka or Josh or whoever, they don't know about, that when you're on the side, nobody's watching? There's something you've been working on a little bit that might you might if you're up by a few runs, you might give it a shot out there. Everybody something that they try, but
not too much. No, I'm trying to integrate in a curveball. I've been more like a fastball slider, and I've been working on a curveball, but.
That's it. No, if you go, like I've always found, if you can command your fastball and have a deadly changeup, you're good. Especially at this level. That's kind of the thing. Jack, we've been doing this thing for about a month and a half now at Lethbridge Bullhorn, the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls baseball report. I don't know how much you know about the Charlton Hill 3 easy questions that we do on the patio every Bulls home game. 3 easy questions by Charlton Hill. You can't get them wrong. It's the court of public opinion. You don't even have to go to the police officer to get questioned by it. Simple. You can't get them wrong. Ready to go?
Yep.
Did you make your bed this morning?
I did not make my bed this morning. No.
Do you normally?
No, I never do.
You should start that. It's a good way to get, because then you roll into, because I do every day. Well, my wife does most days, but whatever. Messiest stall in the PBA locker room.
Oh. Messiest stall, hey? Probably have to go Justin Scott. His is pretty messy.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah.
Just the way his general appearance, but yeah, I could see that. I could see that for sure. Cleanest, who's a bit anal retentive about their stuff?
I feel like I'm pretty clean, but someone else probably Joseph Buse. He's a pretty neat freak.
Huh. Really? I never would have thought that. And the last one, we'll get you out of here and go enjoy your day off. Longest home run you ever gave up? Do you remember who did it, where it was, the whole bit?
Longest home run, hey? Probably playing in the Sunburst League 2 summers ago against Red Deer. I can't remember who hit it, but someone hit a pretty long one down the right field line.
As soon as you let go, you knew it was gone, hey?
Yeah.
Like, the whiplash going over looking over your shoulder. Did you just ask for a ball from the umpire? Like, just give me a ball.
Yeah. Didn't really watch it too much.
No. Did he say anything to you going around the bases?
No, he didn't.
You're a pretty intense guy. I wouldn't have said anything either. You probably would have ripped his head off. No, this was thanks for coming on and joining us here. We look good luck to you guys in the PBA season, obviously, and then once you get going to Lethbridge Bulls this summer. Thank you very much, Jack, for doing this.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jack Hudson. Thanks to Gavin and Jack for once again for joining us here on the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls baseball report. It was great talking to those guys. A couple different personalities, but both good guys in their own right. So it should be a lot of fun seeing those guys around the ballpark this summer for Bulls fans. And if you get a chance to head down to Lloyd Nolan Yard, check out their schedule, PBA prairiebaseball.com. Check out their schedule. Lots of great baseball action. And of course, the Canadian College Baseball Conference World Series that happens here on the May long weekend here at Spitz Stadium. Great baseball action. Guys competing hard. A lot of kids playing. Some of them playing their first time through, and then some guys might be playing their last competitive baseball games of their lives. So a lot a lot of stake and some great baseball action at an affordable price. And it's here at Spit Stadium, so it's always a very good time here to watch the Canadian College Baseball Conference World Series. That's it. Another edition of the Bullhorn. Single game tickets go on sale February 1st. So make sure you go and get those tickets and get yourself lined up for the season. Group seating and everything else, it's always on sale. And of course, season tickets. But go to bullsbaseball.com for all the information regarding the Lethbridge Bulls of the Western Canadian Baseball League. That's it. Another edition of the Bullhorn, the Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report. Horns up, everybody, and we will talk to you soon.
The Lethbridge Bullhorn is all things regarding the Lethbridge Bulls of the Western Canadian Baseball League. The Bullhorn has the latest news regarding the Bulls with interviews with current and past players, signings, game recaps, and updates on all the events happening at Spit Stadium. The Bullhorn is your place for all things regarding baseball in Lethbridge. Get your horns up with the Bullhorn, the Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report.